When you go to a concert for your favorite artist, you expect to go have an amazing time with your friends and come home with tons of memories. That's what 50,000 people expected to happen this past Friday during the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival. Unfortunately, what actually happened was declared as cowardly.
I just want to send out prayers to the ones that was lost last night.
Back in April, Travis Scott announced his third annual two-day festival in Houston, Texas. An older Reddit thread shows how excited his fans were, and it also shows that people were planning on flying in from all around the world. Fans were just so excited to get back out there and see Travis perform in person. Last year, Astroworld was canceled because of COVID, so the anticipation for this year was huge. Little did people know, 8 fans would end up dead. Hundreds would be injured, with many hospitalized for days. A concert that was supposed to be fun after a year of lockdowns ended up being devastating. There were reports of a boy as young as 10 years old being injured, and 8 victims ranging in ages from 14 to 27. So how exactly did a seemingly harmless concert turn deadly so fast, and why did no one do anything to stop it? Videos have been popping up all over social media showing the horrible conditions these fans were faced with. To start things off, a mob of people broke through the barricade and stormed into the concert without tickets. This video shows hundreds of people rushing the gate, and people are literally getting trampled by crowds and crowds of people. They had already sold over 50,000 tickets, so right then and there, they should have known that this space was going to be overcrowded with all these new people just rushing in. The fact that fans even had the opportunity to break in and rush the gates for so long has a lot of people wondering what kind of security was even hired for this event. Why was the area not secured more? And how come no one did anything to get these unticketed people out? Some people on social media are actually saying that the concert should have been canceled right then and there, but unfortunately, it wasn't. Fans who were there said that as soon as Travis was about to come on stage, people from the back started to push to the front, and since it was so overcrowded, everyone was getting squished.
30 minutes before Travis Scott was set to perform, there was a countdown put on the stage, counting down from 30 to 0. At about 1 minute, we started to become crushed. People started rushing towards the front and towards the barricade, and we started having trouble breathing.
An ICU nurse recounted her experience to Vulture, saying, "The situation escalated as a countdown clock neared the moment when Scott would appear. She and her boyfriend arrived at the stage around 6:03 p.m. to land a spot near the front. About 30 minutes before Scott took the stage, the crowd got more and more packed. She said, all of a sudden people came pressed up against each other, pushed forward and backward. It got worse and worse. I had constant pressure on my chest. I was being squeezed. Right when he started performing his first song, I looked at my boyfriend and said, we have to get out of here." If you've ever been to a concert before, you probably know the feeling. As soon as people get really excited because their favorite artist is about to come on stage, everyone starts to try and push their way to the front. Even though it might seem harmless because people just want to get a closer look, it can quickly become super dangerous. In most concerts, whenever things get out of hand, normally the security will step in, and a lot of times, even the artist steps in. Over the past few days, so many videos have been popping up all over social media of different artists stopping their show and waiting for people to get help, or in some cases, even trying to calm the crowd themselves.
Can you get her up? Is she okay? You're good? Are you good? Are you all good?
Yo! Hold up, man! Yo! Paramedics! Somebody's having a seizure, we need paramedics!
Astroworld was a completely different story. Some people describe what happened there as drowning in a sea of people. When one person would pass out or fall to the ground, it created a snowball effect. People were so tightly pressed together, it almost made it impossible to dig yourself out or even help anyone below you. At one point, a security cart was trying to make its way through the crowd to get to someone that needed help, and they could barely make it through. People were jumping on top of the cart, completely blocking its way from being able to get where they needed to be. At one point during the surge, Travis actually stopped the show and called security over to come help someone who passed out and was on the ground. But before security even got to him, Travis started playing again. It's not clear if he just didn't understand like the severity of the situation, but it's like, how can you have a clear view of the crowd and not notice something terrible was happening? It wasn't just one kid passing out. It was hundreds of people passing out, thousands being squished, and even fans chanting for Travis to stop the show.
Stop the show! 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 Houston, make some other noise real quick, y'all. Stop the show! Stop the show!
Two fans actually got up on stage where the cameraman was stationed, and they were screaming and begging for Travis to stop the show. Now, the video looks really bad. These kids were screaming that someone is dead, and yet the cameraman just kind of shoos them away.
If that's okay with you real quick. Take me this door.
Once things started to be taken a little bit more seriously and paramedics and the fire department arrived, it took Travis Scott 40 minutes after a mass casualty incident had been declared for him to stop playing. He played on for 40 minutes while people were dying. So many fans that were actually there have been sharing their stories all over social media. The scary thing is, a lot of people agree that something felt really off that night. Some are even calling what happened demonic.
But this is way too in our face for it to be coincidence. It's way too much.
The way Travis was singing while looking at the guy who was on the floor passed out.
His set was literally of hell.
The thumping music they were playing before the show, which some people said made them felt sick.
And his set said, "See you on the other side."
One girl said she even fell off before the show even started.
Like, there were so many eerie things that happened that night.
To make this whole situation even more bizarre, TMZ reported, and it was confirmed by the Houston Police Department, that there were reports of someone going around and sticking a needle in people's neck.
I will tell you, one of the narratives was that some individual was injecting other people. We do have a report of a security officer, according to the medical staff that was out and treated him last night, that he was reaching over to restrain or grab a citizen, and he felt a prick in his neck. When he was examined, he went unconscious. They administered Narcan. He was revived, and the medical staff did notice a prick that was similar to a prick that you would get if somebody's trying to inject.
Now that we know the devastating outcome of Astroworld, everyone has been wondering if any responsibility is going to fall back on Travis Scott. People are saying that there's just no way that Travis didn't see the chaos that was happening in the crowd while he was performing. He was up so high above everyone, he had to know something wasn't right. Even the fact that he stopped the show after someone passed out, yet continued to perform before the situation was even fully handled. He even brought Drake out on stage, which just made people go even crazier and push even more. And the lawsuits are already starting to flood in. One concert goer has already lured up and filed a suit against Travis, Score More, and Live Nation. According to BuzzFeed, the lawsuit says, the festival organizers blatantly ignored potential warning signs that compromised the safety of the event before performances had started. The suit continues to lay blame on the show's organizers for allowing Scott's performance to continue even after ambulances arrived to treat attendees who had suffered serious, obvious injury. The complaint ultimately alleges that the tragic incident was a direct consequence of a motivation for profit at the expense of concertgoers' health and safety, and the encouragement of violence by Scott himself. The complaint accuses the organizers of negligence and gross negligence and is seeking at least $1 million in damages. A second lawsuit has been filed too, but this time, Drake was also named. A person named Kristen is suing Trav, Drake, and LN for negligence as well, claiming that Travis' concert history should have been at the forefront of everyone's mind who helped plan and execute Astroworld this year. In their doc obtained by TMZ, they claim Travis and Drake helped incite the crowd that night, suggesting they either were aware or should have been aware of the reaction the crowd would have had once they both took the stage, which they claim ended up causing a massive surge they say injured them. Now, this isn't the first time that Travis has been in serious trouble for endangering his fans at his shows. He's been arrested not once, but twice for encouraging fans to rush security and causing a riot. Now, let's talk about the responses. A lot of people took issue with the response that Travis, Kylie Jenner, and the whole Kardashian family gave to the situation. Travis posted a video addressing what happened, and it's really not good. A lot of people are saying that he just seems so disinterested and almost like he's reading off of a script.
To the ones that was lost last night, we're actually working right now to identify the families so we can help assist them through this tough time. You know, my fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience. And anytime I can make out, you know, anything that's going on, I stop the show and, you know, help them get the help they need, you know. I could just never imagine the severity of the situation. We've been working closely with everyone to just try to get to the bottom of this. The City of Houston, HPD, Fire Department, you know, everyone to, you know, help us figure this out. So if you have any information, you know, please just contact your local authorities. Everybody continue to just keep your prayers. I mean, I'm honestly just devastated, and I could never imagine anything like this just happening. And I'm gonna do everything I can to keep you guys updated and just keep you guys informed on what's going on. Love you all.
People are also mad at Kylie Jenner and her response. Kylie was actually there with Stormi when this all happened, and people have been giving her a lot of backlash for not doing more. When things got out of hand, Kylie was seen with Stormi being escorted away by tons of security. People are saying that Kylie should have called Travis's manager and told them that the show needed to be stopped. It's not like Kylie didn't see what was going on either. In a now deleted Instagram post, you could literally see the ambulance car trying to make its way through the crowd to help people. Kylie addressed things on her Instagram story, writing, "Travis and I are broken and devastated. My thoughts and prayers are with all who lost their lives, were injured, or affected in any way by yesterday's events. And also for Travis, who I know cares deeply for his fans and the Houston community. I want to make it clear that we weren't aware of any fatalities until the news came out after the show, and in no world would have continued filming or performing. I'm sending my deepest condolences to all the families during this difficult time and will be praying for the healing of everyone who has been impacted." Kim Kardashian also addressed things over on her social media, writing, "Absolutely heartbroken for the lives that were lost and anyone who was hurt at Astroworld. Just like all of you, our family is in shock by the tragedy. We are keeping all the victims, families, and loved ones impacted in our prayers for healing, as well as Travis, who we know cares so much about his fans and is truly devastated." As for Kris Jenner, a lot of people thought Kris would be all over social media trying to do some kind of damage control, but she actually did the opposite. All day long, Kris has been posting her birthday flowers on Instagram, and people just think it's a little bit out of touch. One person tweeted, "Kris Jenner posting 30 pics today of the flowers she received for her birthday feels weird given the circumstances this weekend in Houston." The only person that seemed to actually do something nice for the victims was Kanye West. On Sunday, he dedicated his Sunday service to all the victims of Astroworld. As for Travis Scott, it just really seems like people want him to be partially held accountable for what happened. Fans have been removing him from their Spotify accounts and even asking Spotify not to play his music anymore. It's being said that Travis probably kept playing because it all came down to money. Travis has agreed to refund anyone who attended the show and has offered to pay for the funerals of the 8 victims.